Hi everyone, it's Karen here for Artist Live, and I'm here with a new project I'm going to be making today, a mixed media project. It's a butterfly art tile, and I'm really excited this month because what we're doing is we've collaborated with our mixed media moods, which is a Facebook and an inspirational group that does YouTube videos, and every month there is a mood board. This group is um, a collaboration of Didi Catron and Jennifer Engel. I hope I'm saying their names correctly. I mean, pronouncing the last names correctly. Didi, I know how to say it. And they invited all the artist lives this month to create videos based on their February mood board. And you can find the link below. I mean, somebody will link it on our live show, but also I will put the link below in our YouTube video so you can you can go directly to these and see all the other videos and inspiration. We have all video tutorials from like 6 different artists, and they're all based on the same mood board, and they're so beautiful, and they're all completely different. So you're gonna get a lot of inspiration and a lot of new ideas and loads and loads of technique. So I already made a project with one of the videos, but this is in a video tutorial with it that it's also butterfly based, and you can go and I'll link that one as well. And the rest of us are going to be, some of us are going to be making an extra project based on that mood board as well, and that is mine today. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the project that I made today. And I'm sorry, I'm a bit tongue-tied today. I'm a bit tired because we had a very busy weekend, non-artsy related, so that's why I'm getting like confused with what I'm saying. So here's the project that I'm making today. Let me turn this around. And oops, sorry. Okay, so there it is. That is the project. Hold on, I need to focus. I just want to make sure that my camera doesn't move when it's still moving. Okay, so that is the project, and that's the empty tile. This is a canvas board, a regular canvas board, 6x6. That's all it is. It's really easy. It's just nothing. I mean, this is the local company here in Canada, but Yasmin will be putting the links for the other ones, and for the video itself, the links are going to be below. So if you're not watching this live, the links will be below as well. So just to let you a closer look on how textured this tile is and all the techniques that go along with it. So let's get started. I'm going to put actually these two aside because the first thing that I did is I created this butterfly, and I actually printed this from the internet. It's just a regular butterfly, okay? And I put how do you call this? A see-through, not transparency, it's just one of the plastic packaging, and I'm going to trace around it with a glue gun, okay? And I'm kind of creating my own butterfly around. So the reason why I'm putting the plastic is because it helps later so you could remove it. Originally I was going to keep it on this and put and cut it around it, but I realized that I could actually remove it, which was really good. So it became a different idea. So it doesn't have to be, of course, because it's mixed media, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to go around it. And takes a little bit longer, but you know how the nice thing about glue guns is that they dry quickly. So that's the nice part about it. I'm trying to, this time I'm doing it a little bit thicker than I did in my last project, because I realized that the areas where I had done it really thick, I meant to say, the project was nicer than when I added the other products. It became much nicer when it was thick than when it was really thin. So I am going to add it as thick as I can. I now remember the name of this. It's a piece of acetate. But it's from a packaging, from one of the packages. Sorry, I need more glue. So I just prepared everything here. So I have. And also, like, Yasmin just she just linked my YouTube video for that, for the our mixed media moods, and I'm going to link all the other videos at the bottom for those people that watch this after the show, but she can link all the other videos as well here for everybody to see. So Jasmine has a video, Heather has a video, Dee Dee has a video, Rika has a video, and Jennifer, of course, because they are the hosts of the Mixed Media Moods. You can also find our Mixed Media Moods on Facebook. So, and you can play to win prizes. So if you're, I think, sorry, don't quote me on that, whether or not to win prizes, somebody correct me on that one. But you can definitely get inspired by the mood board on Facebook and post your project. So I'm guessing it is for prizes, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so don't, maybe Yasmin can verify that, and once she verifies, I will let you guys know. But what's nice about it is that you can play along, and everybody, you know, it's a Facebook group, and you can see a lot of video inspiration, and every month it's a different mood board. And it's basically a Facebook group, just like I mean, mine is a page, like ours is a page here, what we do for Artist Live, but it's a similar idea, and we thought a collaboration would be a great idea for this. So while I'm working on this, I'm just talking a little bit about it, and I will definitely link the projects in the description area below. You will see the links to all those other YouTube videos. Also want to apologize for my messy mat. It's really dirty, and I've actually bought a new one, but it hasn't arrived yet. So for now, I apologize for the messiness. Is it blurry? I can't. Okay, you see how I'm going around it? It's hard to tell, but I am. This is the same one I used for the original one. Now I'm going inside, and I'm just kind of creating a pattern inside the butterfly. The only sucky thing is that you can't fast forward this part of the video, you know, like how we do it when we are doing our own videos and editing them. So you don't have to see this in slow motion. The reason why I wanted to kind of have this pattern inside and kind of sealed is because I really wanted to, oops, I don't know why I did that. Okay, it will be a little bit different. I meant to go around here. The reason why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to have different sections where I could include, I used alcohol inks inside here. So that was a way of containing the inks and being able to put different colors in different sections of the butterfly. So I'm making my own pattern here because I made a mistake, and that's okay. Hold on. And mistakes are okay too, you know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the exact same butterfly. Butterflies come in different patterns as well, so that's okay. And it's hard to keep glue guns straight, and they have these hairs coming out, but it doesn't matter. It still works. Oh, that was still wet. Got stuck to the. Okay, so I'm making the pattern. Let me see if, okay, so there you go. And I'm sorry I'm not saying hi to everyone. I see Julie's here, Luciana. Hi, Julie. Luciana, Kaita, Katya, I think, Kaita, it says there. I apologize. I'm concentrating so I won't burn myself. So, because you know how glue guns are finicky and burning. So I'm not looking as who has logged on, but thank you for coming, everybody. We love when you come to our live shows, because it really makes a difference when you're watching live and interacting with all our friends from around the world. You meet new people, which is really nice. So if you haven't come to one of our live shows, if you're watching this after, we really encourage people to come, because it is really fun. I've met a lot of my friends just by doing these attending these type of live shows. It used to be that Prima used to have one. They don't have one anymore. So we're one of like the only ones that, look at all these hairs. We're one of the only ones who have these live shows. Flying Unicorns unfortunately doesn't have it anymore. So we really try to bring you as much as we can of these really like interesting and technique based mixed media live. It's not always mixed media, but just in general. So you see here it is the butterfly. I went all around it and I'm just letting it like completely cool off. In the meantime, I am going to like put this aside and I'm going to bring the tile back. Okay, so here is the tile and I'm going to create the background. So this is a technique that I've done before, but last time I did this technique to create those really cool grooves, I used like the color bloom sprays. This time I'm going to use the I forget, alcohol inks. So this is the soft matte gel from Prima, Finnabair Art Basics, and I'm going to grab my spatula and just want to see, hold on 1 second. Okay, so this is my spatula and my palette knife. Okay, so let's see now. So this is basically dry. Look how quickly it dried. And all I'm doing is just removing it. So a lot of people have, there's videos out there where people create basically stencils with this. Maybe some areas a little bit wet. It's not wet, but not fully dry. Okay, there we go. So this is my cool butterfly. How cool is that? It's plastic. Okay, plastic. I'm now speaking Spanish too on top of everything else. And I'm going to glue this here. So that's how I created the butterfly in the center. Nothing too fancy, and this one is a little bit different. And all I did is I basically used some gel and I just glued it on. I really wanted for it to really be glued properly in the background. So I just put a thin layer of that. You see with my gel, you always find some extra pieces of something in them, like a little surprise that I always get. Okay, so there we go. I really like making art tiles. They're small. I call them art tiles. I don't know what you would call these. I've done these before, different kinds of art tiles. Like I just like it's a small space and you can like show a lot of technique with this as well. So now I'm going to take the gel, the same gel, and I'm going to put it. Make sure that everyone's okay because it's all white. Okay, I wanted to make sure. So the way I'm making these grooves, and I'm literally patting this. Now, I've had questions before. Why don't I use modeling paste? Why don't I use gesso, for example? And truthfully, you can. The reason why I use gel is because I want that translucent kind of effect. I do not want the background to be white. I don't want, for example, with gesso, the actual like gesso is white, so it will, if it mixes with the other colors, it will turn make the colors be more, be lighter. So I really want, because I apply stuff when things are still wet, right? Because that's a technique, to apply things when things are wet. I really prefer the gel because it dries translucent and it doesn't take away from the color. Modeling paste, I think, is just too hard for what I'm looking to do, right? Because I really want these grooves. And you could do this with modeling paste, but again, the modeling paste is a bit more opaque. It won't dry translucent. One of the things I discovered, I recently did a video on how to make crackle texture. And one of the things I've shown before in one of the other Artist Live things, and maybe I'll link that as well, I did a butterfly one where I created this texture and then I sprayed color bloom while it was still wet, and it created crackles. Well, somebody asked on that video how if we could, like, for example, do the same thing but the question was, so if we could do the same thing but with something not a color bloom spray. Okay, so any other type, like any other type of spray, or for that matter, if we could first dry it, and then will it create the cracks as well? So I did an experiment and I realized that the reason why it cracks, if you actually dry this, because this person wanted to take the modeling and avoid to buy crackle paste. So I thought, I'm not sure if you actually dry this first and then spray, it will not. It will not create the cracks that you saw in that video, which I'm linking above. So what I did is I actually realized that what's causing the cracks in the gel is actually spraying water. So if I go now and I take a water bottle and I spray this around, it will actually create those cracks, and then you can spray on top. So the water goes in between the gel and creates those cracks in between. And today we're not using water, but I will maybe upload a small technique on how to do it with the water, because I'm going way off tangent of what I'm actually did in this case. So here is the actual like texture that I did, and it still creates a very cool texture. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so again, what I said is that you really want to create that those bumps here, and you want to make sure that it's going to be translucent. So this is the reason why I used the gel. So okay, now that I went way off tangent, I want to show you what I did after this. So I have a little bowl here with all my alcohol inks that I used. Okay, so here I used caramel, and I use mushroom. I mean, it could be anything, to tell you the truth. This is Lake Mist. I use, this one is indigo. So I'm not even sure if I used all stream and aqua, and then I had the metallics as well. Okay, so I started playing with these. I wanted to see if it would actually work if I did the same technique with the water, but it didn't fully crack like the way they did with the color bloom. So I think the trick is water, which is not a technique I'm doing right now, but I think I'm going to do another video on a separate occasion just to show that this cracking can happen with the water as well. So as you can see, I added first like the different color bloom sprays. I mean, not color bloom, the different alcohol inks. So the outside has the earthy tones and the inside has the blue. So I'm going to just start basically, I'm going to start adding these. So I basically just went and just started, and then yes, they will go underneath a little bit and mix, and that's just what I want. So it doesn't fully contain it, obviously, because the gel is underneath. But look how beautiful those colors. Well, it looks like it. Is it? I just want to make sure it's not. Oh, there. Now it's focused more. Let me get you a little bit down more so you can see how nice. So I'm trying not to like do all the colors everywhere. Okay. So let me just continue on. I love this color. This one is so beautiful. Look how beautiful it spreads underneath. So, oops. It doesn't matter if they mix with each other. That's the nice part about it. And I love when how alcohol inks mix with each other. It mixes really nicely. So, hold on. I'm just playing around with these. Okay. Yeah, it will probably go inside the other ones. And then, oh, wait, one more. I want to add this blue. Oh, yeah, I did add blue already here. So let's try a little bit more. And some of this, I want to cover the whole thing. Okay, so that's the butterfly itself. And what I did, okay, so I bought this at the dollar store. This is alcohol. Oops, this is in French. 70% rubbing alcohol. And it, by spraying it, it actually makes everything mix really nicely together. So they do have also the alcohol blending ink from Tim Holtz, which will work as well. But I like this because it's in a spray bottle, so it works really well. And I'm going to now add the silver. Let me just mix that. So let me just mix. So the silver adds really nice tone to this. It blends everything in it. They're called mixatives, and I really like how they mix together. And yeah, Yasmin is putting all the alcohol links there above. And I will also, obviously all the materials are going to be linked in our YouTube channel as well. So that's kind of just letting it dry. I'm going to now add the outside ones. So my favorite one, which is the caramel. I love this type of color. It's very like rustic. How beautiful is that? So I'm just playing, you know. I'm going to add the mushrooms. I love playing with alcohol inks. It's really fun. And as you can see like everything is still see-through, and I am going to use the new waxes from Finnabair to actually rub it on top at the end. But first we're just kind of mixing everything and just creating the background. So just if you have any questions, sorry, I'm looking, trying to pay attention. Oh, hi, Jimena. She lives actually near me. We just met online. Sorry, I didn't see you come in there. So hold on. So I mean, the thing with they do last a long time, the alcohol inks, which is really nice. But I do use a lot when I actually use them. I love how they spread everywhere. So when I put the alcohol inks, I tried to like do the same thing and dry it right away, but it didn't quite work the way I wanted it, not with the water, okay? The alcohol doesn't seep into the gel the way it does with the way it does with the water. Let me just add some more here. So you see I sprayed it a little bit on to just kind of mix everything. So what I like about that alcohol spray is that it mixes it all. Dilutes it, so it looks really good. Let me just add now more inside. I feel like it needs a little bit darker, a darker shade here inside. Oops, that's my phone, and I'm just going to turn it off. Didn't realize that I had it on. Okay, so what else? Okay, so here it is. I want to add, I also added some gold to the, hi Arena. I also am adding some gold. And hold on, let me mix, this is another mixative. So they come in two, they come in gold, the gold and silver. So, oh, so Joanne says that she hasn't used her alcohol. She bought enough. So there you go, Joanne. I have actually used alcohol inks in both this project and the project that I created for the RMix Media Moods, because the way the mood board looked, it's hard to see. Well, I'll link you'll see the mood board as well when I link this. But the nice thing, it has a butterfly, but it also has this blended kind of inks that reminded me so much of what happens when alcohol ink get mixed together, especially on Yapo paper, or Yupo paper. Sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce that word. So my other project is actually using alcohol inks on Yupo paper, which is really cool. And I love doing that. So, I'll show you, for example. So I just want here, I have actually this is actually alcohol inks. Look how it's see-through. It's used on this same piece of acetate. Let me put some white underneath it so you can actually see. So this is how cool you can really get this really cool effect. Okay, so that's the same alcohol inks. These are done, this was done on acetate. And I'll show you. Okay, hold on. And I'll show you the alcohol inks that I used. I don't know if you guys watched that other video, but I've been playing with them. So this is the same idea. And this, I cut a butterfly out of it. This is not the same one, but you see how you get these really neat effects with the alcohol ink. This is Yapo paper, okay, so it's really cool. And I mean, I wish I could, maybe I'll try to link this video as well, the one with the Yapo paper. I mean, that is, there's so many different techniques that can be done in general, right? So we need to just pace ourselves a little bit. So I'm just continuing to play here. I like playing with these. So I like the silver. Where did it go? There. Is this the silver? No. Oh, there's the silver. That's what I was going to do. I was going to add a little bit more silver and a little bit more blue. Oops, more blue here. Now, one thing about alcohol ink, they stain everything. This is one of the reasons why now I had to switch my whole mat. Somehow it stained everything. So the new mat, I'm going to be very careful when I use these, because I tend to always do everything on my mat and not care whether or not there is any ink on top. But even rubbing, even with using alcohol to remove it, I couldn't. So it was really hard. Okay, so I'm going to close everything because I'm basically done with the background, and I know it still looks white underneath, and that's because I still haven't rubbed the actual, how do you call this, the wax on top. Now, the thing with this is that when I started drying this, because I want to dry this, right, because this is part of the video, okay, when I started drying this, it started melting the actual silicone from the glue gun. So that did not work so well, but I mean, it still hardens after again. So I'll show you what I did. So I'm going to like kind of go around. I just want to make sure that it dries quickly. All right, so Elaine, already watched the video with the butterfly from the Our Mixed Media Mood, and she actually really loved how she actually created an amazing background with the same technique. I use the sparks, which are these. While I'm drying, I'm showing you stuff. So these sparks, they're so sparkly, but you can use any metallic paint in that matter. So look how sparkly. Oops. You see, like it's really, really sparkly. So I use these to create splatters on the background. Do I have the actual project here? I don't even know if I have the project. Hold on, let me just go look. It must be here somewhere. What do I do with it? I'm trying to think what I did with the project. Where did I put it? Because I was going to hang it. Well, maybe it's outside. Can't remember. The nice thing about alcohol inks is that they dry quickly, the same as alcohol. The only thing that doesn't dry quickly is the actual gel, not as quickly as you would like it to dry. So you do need a little bit of patience. I'm just closing my alcohol inks so they don't dry up or evaporate for that matter. So just bear with me here. Any questions in the meantime? Yes, okay. So while I'm drying, I can give, you're right. So Joanne is saying that she uses alcohol inks to tint metal things that are not the color that she wants. For example, if she wants a blue brad, but she doesn't have the right tone, so she'll use an alcohol ink. Alcohol inks are great for metals. They give it not only like if you use these type of colors, they give it a rustic look, but they also go really well on metal. So it's a very good alternative when you're trying to change the color of a metal. Same with the waxes now. The new waxes are really, really good. And I'm going to be using this butterfly from the Mechanicals from Finnabair. And I'm going to be using the waxes for this. So I'll show you how we alter this. So right now, if I get really close, it kind of bubbles a little bit, which is nice. I want to add a little bit. There's some areas here that are too bare, so I want to add some, and you can continue adding and mixing, that's what's really nice about the alcohol inks. Let's see, I think I need some of this. So while I'm drying, I tend to go back and see where I'm missing stuff and fill it up, and I need a little bit of spray to kind of spread it around. So I wanted it a little bit darker, and if it's too much, obviously before it's dry you can dab it, so that's nice as well. And so yeah, so it's really good ideas. Like, everybody has their own techniques for alcohol inks, and there's lots of techniques out there. This is nothing new that I'm doing. I just like trying the alcohol inks. I don't have time to see a lot of videos online, so like sometimes I've said, oh, I've done this technique, I've tried it out, and people comment that it's not a new technique, and I know it's probably not a new technique, but for me it is new because I've never done it before, and I don't really, it's not like I'm copying another person's technique, it's just that I really have never seen it before, and I just try it and see what happens. Okay, so this is the metal, and because I've been heating this up, look how cool. Because I've been heating this up, it actually heated up the silicone underneath, so you have to be careful, and it's soft. So all I'm doing is I'm basically attaching it here, and it's basically glued onto that silicone. So when it dries, it's the same as basically as if I used a glue gun, okay? It's like moving. So hold on. I want the butterfly. So that was the center of my butterfly, and I feel like I need a little bit more of this silver. So hold on. And I like these drops. These are really nice. These silver ones are really nice. Okay, so you see when I look at it in the mirror, I think it kind of looks differently. The blue kind of blended. So let me just show this to you from closer because everything is hot. So there you see the texture really, really good. And I know you still see the see-through parts of it, okay? But I just really love how the translucent texture, and it will dry completely translucent. So you will only see the alcohol inks and you will not see anything else. So things are still a little bit wet, so I'm still touching them. This is the only annoying part about live shows. But at least this way I can give a lot of new techniques and ideas. Let me see if I have, while I'm doing this, hold on, I'm looking to see if I can show you how the Yapo paper looks like. So let me just, while I'm this is air drying, just 1 second, I'll show you. So this is how Yapo paper, it comes in a block. The one I bought is in a block, and let me just go up. This is I put a link on my other video as well so you can see. And it's really cool. It's like almost like a plastic kind of paper. You can still bend it, of course, but what I like about it, comes in translucent or in white, so it creates really cool effects, and you can do many different things with it. So that's the nice thing about that. And I wish I don't know where I put my project. Should be here somewhere, but I just don't know. Okay. Yeah, so I really like the idea of, using things that are cheap. Although I use a lot of, like, I guess everything is expensive and I've accumulated over the years. But yeah, somebody's saying, oh, how cool that you use the glue gun. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's exactly like something that is cheap and affordable and everybody can use. So let me also turn the fan here. I have a fan in my room, and that actually helps things to dry up. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so let me cool things off a little bit. It is going to be too hard for me to add the waxes, so I'm going to bring them along. So this is the wax I used. Actually, I used these different ones. Not, I think I put only a very little bit of this turquoise one. So this is the Opal Magic turquoise, but the main ones that I used was the Vintage Gold, which is absolutely my favorite out of all because everything looks good in gold. And it also is really, it just looks good in every single project that I've put it on. It's my first one that I go to, and look how beautiful it is. So that's one of my amazing new products which I love. And this one is called, there's two different like kind of silvery colors. This one is called Brushed Iron. It's also a metallic wax by Prima Marketing, Finnabair Art Alchemy. And this one is the silver one, which is the one I put. Oops, that's not, look how nice this one is. Oh, they're so creamy and they smell so good. They smell really, really good. You know how wax sometimes smells really bad, especially the ones that you use to kind of create the vintage texture on furniture and stuff like that. So this looks really, really good. And it's really nicely, it's like the consistency is really good. So these waxes are best for surfaces that are primed or metal. Like you can put it on paper, but it won't give you the same effect. The best is wood, metal, like anything that you're trying to make antique, even plastic. Best is obviously to prime some of the, if it doesn't go on the specific material for whatever reason, then it could be that you need to prime it. Hi Ava. And I see, I'm just trying to see who else is here. So you know what, it's still like a little bit wet on the outside, which is unfortunate because I'm trying to rush and it's not working. The actual butterfly is dry now again, so I'm gonna just maybe play a little bit around. So I love using my finger with these. They're very soft and they go on really, really easily. Okay, so I didn't want the see-through color, and I'm gonna, oh, let me get closer so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so there is the closeness of it. Okay, so I'll try. I really want to show you how cool this is. So you see how, oops, let me just, you see how this is see-through here, and when I add the silver, let me bring it over closer, or here where it's dirty, it covers it all. It covers the whole and makes it all silver. Brushed iron, it looks like brushed iron. Same thing here, I want to add a little bit of, I mean this is already silver, but I want to add a little bit more silver onto it. So I'm kind of covering basically any mistakes that, if let's say the alcohol ink went underneath the butterfly because it just spread inside. This covers it all. So you see, like it actually defines my butterfly. So here it is. And yeah, so Yasmin is putting the links to some of the things. Obviously, if you're in Europe, then Mixed Media Place would be the place that you can buy these. Here, I've seen them. They're in Photobella, Simon Says Stamp. I haven't seen them on Amazon yet or on scrapbook.com. Somehow, I don't know why scrapbook.com doesn't have them yet, but I haven't seen them because I've been trying to find links of where to put them. So, hold on. I want to bend this a little bit without ruining it. Am I in this frame? Okay, sorry, because I want. Now you can also use with these stipple brush. Looks really good on like this. So look how cool. Look how it defined the butterfly on the outside. Okay, there we go. So that I love because it did that to the butterfly. Okay, and okay, there we go. Let me wipe my finger. Now make sure also that you seal these waxes really well so they don't dry up. So they kind of like seal like by closing this way. Oops. And now now it's better. Now it's a little bit dry. Not this side somehow. I don't know why. But I will use this one. So this I love. This is, oh, sorry, this one I love. It's my favorite. So that's the one I'm going to say. So actually, before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of the Opal Magic, because I think it needs, so these ones come like they're basically white and they react differently when you put them on different colors. But this one is kind of gives it like a little bit of the blue tinge that I want underneath. And then I'm going to put the gold. So this is what I did. I just added a little bit on, but it gives it that kind of bluish patina kind of tone. And it's hard to see in the video, but it does. And then it's just, I put very little bit in. And then, oh yeah, actually you can see in the video really well. I thought you couldn't, but you can. So now I'm going to put the gold. And this really did it for me there. It really defined all the texture on top, which was really nice. I really wanted to define the texture, like the ridges of that dried up. Now the gel is still dried underneath, but at least the surface is kind of dry. I'm also gonna do this around the edges because I don't want any white edges. I realized I didn't do this on the other one. I don't know why. I must have been not paid attention to that. So here you can see, you see the gold around it. Okay, I'll try to show. It's hard. Oh, there. Now I got a good view there. So what it does is that it gives, like, I'm only touching the surface very carefully, so I could, because I only want to get the top of the ridges. I do not want to get the alcohol ink. That's part I want to stay dark, so you can see the depth, but also you can see those really cool, oh, look what happened. See, it's still wet. You can see the cool effect of the alcohol ink. Okay, so you can see this area is not wet, it's not dry, and I need to fix it. So all I do is I can, let's say you want to fix this area because it's still wet. Obviously this is a live show, so that's why. But so you just go like this, and there it fixed it. And I feel like here it needs some fixing, and here, because I must have moved things around. So yes, it's not fully dry, of course, but it's fixable. So that's why I like, what I like about some of people, like, and I encourage this, like I made a whole video about how to create videos. And one of the things I suggested for people that are making videos is that you should show if you're making a mistake, because people appreciate that if you make a mistake and you show them how to fix the mistake, then they'll know how to do that if that ever happens to them. So it's a very important thing to do, and that is to show that, you know, you're, first of all, you're human, you make mistakes, and that's okay. And at the same time, you have some expertise in, let's say, that specific technique that you're doing, because you've already gone through it. You know, you're not the full expert, but you've already gone through and you figure out how to fix that mistake. So I think it's really important to show that your viewers that you're making mistakes and that you're able to fix them. So that's the nice thing about it. Another thing about these waxes, which is a really cool feature, is that you don't have to heat set them. Once they're on, they're permanent. So it's hard to also remove them, but if you do it right away, you can usually remove most of it. But the nice thing about it, and let me just dry this up a little bit so I can finish this whole area. So here, for example, the gold mixes with the silver, so I want to fix that part. So yeah, so that's just my own babble talking. I want to put a little bit of maybe gold on this butterfly. I think it will look nicer, and look how nice it goes. I'll show you from closer. How nice it goes on it. Hold on. So I'm just trying to dry those areas that I, ouch, hot, that I fixed. So here I put a little bit of a golden tinge on the butterfly. So that's really nice. And I'm not sure this weird bubble here that formed. I'm going to maybe add some gold to that. weird bubble that's not a bubble. It's actually part of the how do you call this? Oh, I forgot the word now. The glue gun. It's glue from the glue gun. It's just that's the way I created it. So, and if let's say that you didn't like it because you see how this line is really thin, I could easily go back with the glue gun, let it dry. Here's my glue gun, which is still, let it dry and create like a thicker line there to kind of counteract what happened. So let's see if I can fix it because I don't like that big. I'm making bigger bubbles now, but so again, like this is what I mean by you can go back and let's say you don't like how something turned out, you can always fix it, especially with a glue gun. Glue gun is really easy to fix. So you see I added some more see-through parts here. So I want to just let it dry and then I'll show you. And let's say you wanted to add more color, more, you know, like you make like a butterfly. I could have made this a different color. I could have made this the center like, I don't know, red, green, whichever one, right? There's no really rhyme and reason why I did certain things. I just like the combination of blue with these earthy tones. It looks really good. Still a little bit wet. I'm worried to go over this. This side is okay. Just have to be careful. And where else? Here. Okay, that one is too wet. And let me go back with the silver. What did I do with it? Here it is, because I got some gold there as well. So this, I made a mistake and put some gold. And here, still wet, where I just added the glue gun. So I'm waiting a few more minutes until that's done. And there, you see, now I fixed it so it doesn't look so bubbly right there. I'm just trying to be careful not to burn myself. So you could really, I really like the technique of the glue gun with the waxes on top. It looks so pretty. And I want to show you from, so there, I just fixed that part. And well, that I always think it's gonna, oh no, it's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, good. So it did take enough time. I always think that it's going to take less time than it does. Oh, there we go. Okay, look how nice that is. Okay, so there is the gold and the brushed iron on top of this, and a little bit of the golden tinge on the silver butterfly, and all this texture, which I'm really trying to show you. So this is when it's still a little bit wet, the gel, and then I'll show you the other one, which is dry. So when it dries, it also settles a little bit. So here is the other one that I made, the original, and you can see all the really cool cracks with the alcohol ink in between. So yeah, so I'm a big texture kind of girl. You know me, I love texture, so that's why crackle texture was really cool. So I really like that. I really like creating things that have the texture. So that's it for today. I can see, you can see here the two different ones. I think this one has a little bit more of the wax, and I might go back on this one. You see how this one is, it's hard to tell, but if you go sideways, and let me try for this one is puffier still. No, you can't really see it. Yeah, maybe, yeah, you can see that it's a little bit more puffy, and that's because the gel hasn't settled and hasn't dried. Once it dried, it kind of, the air bubbles come out of it, and it becomes easier to, and it becomes flatter. Okay, and then I could go back and, oh, I just put silver there where I was supposed to. So you see, you can remove a little bit, but I can go with the gold, with the vintage gold, which is, as I said, my favorite. So I did definitely add more vintage gold on this. So I can go back in and dry it, and that will help. So I mean, I can go back in with the waxes after it's dry and add some more. So that is it for today. I don't know, I'm excited. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of mosaic. No, what is it called? A window art? Oh, somebody help me. You know, the things that you put on the window. Okay, I just now I'm forgetting, but somebody will mention it soon. So it's not translucent like the window ones, but it just reminds me of that, especially like once it dry. It's those oh wow, that's a completely blank. Oh, stained glass. Thank you. Somebody just. This looks to me like stained glass. This is my idea, was to use the translucent, and this is why the Yapo paper and all these things, or using like this also looks like the one that I used here. It also looks like stained glass. So yeah. So I really like the idea of it looking like a stained glass. So I really encourage you. Let me just turn around so I can just want to say the one last thing. Okay. So I really encourage you to go to the Facebook page, our Facebook page, subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm sure most people here that are doing the live show subscribe, but if you are just watching this after, please subscribe to our Artist Live Facebook page. And also this month we're doing, as I said, our mixed media moods, and I'll put all the links below so you can see which one, where we're doing it, like where it is. And there's a lot of inspirational videos. And in the next few weeks, the next week is Heather, and she'll be doing also something related to the inspired by our mixed media moods. And after that, it's Dee Dee, and then Yasmin. So we're all trying to not only inspire, but like, teach techniques. And also, please, if you don't follow my YouTube channel, please follow it. It's really important for me. This is where my livelihood is and my job. So the more video, if you want more videos, then subscribe to our Artist Live YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all these girls that do an amazing job every single day. We bring videos, and it takes a long time for us to do these videos, but it's really important for us to gain the subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to one of us, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming today to Artist Live, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Now I just have, oops, to stop.